Yo, good morning, my fellow Limbus players. We have a little bit of news to go over, of course, as usual. Uh, Only a little bit, though. We have one ID, really strange, only one ID, but we have Warp Esong to review. And then, apparently, some, changes to Season 3's Battle Pass mechanics, and then also, patch notes. So, gonna be a little bit of a shorter one, probably. I can't promise anything, of course, because every single time this happens, I'm like, yeah, maybe it'll be a little bit short, and then it always ends up being super long anyway. But I know you guys don't complain about that, so no problems. But as usual, we're going to start chronologically moving downwards. So we have Warpy Song first. Personally, I'm kind of excited for Warpy Song. I know a lot of people are like, dude, why the hell are you giving Esong another, ID? Please just give, Gregor or something, or, but, okay, I understand. And also, where's Farm Watch? I understand, bro. Me too. But, I don't know. I kind of like him getting Warp Corp, if anything, because, compared to anything else, because usually W Corp IDs are meta relevant, so I'll actually be able to use him, so that's cool. I apologize. Something came up really quick, but I'm back. So yeah, I'm actually gonna be able to use him probably, so I'm kind of excited for this guy. If anything, if nothing else, at least he might be experimented with. But, yeah, we have W Corp, Cleanup Agent, Esong. Usually, the 3-star W Corp IDs are pretty good. I can't think of, any bad ones. What do we even have for 3 stars? W Don is good, obviously, super meta staple. W Ryoshu's a super meta staple. And W Mersault is good at, the highest level of play in Railway, but no one besides the highest level of play uses him. Usually they just opt for Rhino instead, which is 100% reasonable, because W Mersault is, difficult to get value out of. I'll say he's difficult to get value out of if you're not, really trying to play for him. So he's a little bit iffy. But, I don't think we have any other 3-star W Corp ones, so all the ones we have are pretty good. And they're all part of the meta team at the moment. Mersault is personal preference, I guess, but I think right now it's optimal to play W Mersault over Rhino if you're playing at the highest level, but that's just my opinion, of course. Pretty much all of his IDs are cracked with the regret passive anyway, so you can kind of make do with anything. But yeah, let's talk about Esong instead of everything else. So he's got Slash, Skill 1, and Pierce. First W Corp ID to really deal, primarily piercing damage. Usually, obviously, it's slashing damage. W Don actually does do some, solid pierce damage because of her Skill 2. Her Skill 2 is just very, very solid. So she can actually contribute a lot of piercing damage over time. But usually they only do slashing damage for the most part, so this is actually interesting. But let's get started here. Sin Resource spread, not great, to be honest. Again, just not really what we want to see, but not really surprised, to be honest. I'm not really surprised to see this. I would have liked to see more Gloom, to be honest, but hey. Having Sloth on Esong is pretty good, because his egos all take Sloth, so that's a W. So we have Dimensional Slit, 1 coin skill 1, pretty standard. Gain charge count, at X charge count, coin power plus Y, seems pretty neat. It's like a sort of a middle ground between W Don and W Ryoshu, where it's a 1 coin, but it gains coin power at X plus charge. If there's anything that I learned after W Ryoshu's release, it's that X plus charge count gain coin power is one of the most insanely good mechanics in the game. I mean, for those who don't know, W Ryoshu is like my favorite ID in the game. Like, 100%. I think she is my favorite ID. She's just so fun to play with. And she has a lot of team synergy. Her ego resource generation is good. Like, she just has everything. And she's so satisfying to chunk bosses with. And her mechanic with this, she was the first one to have it. You know, besides obviously, like, W Mersault and, like, you know, like, Rip Space on Dawn, like, yeah, technically Rip Space does the same thing, but, like, on all of her skills, I mean, she had it. And it gives her a reason to stay at high charge, instead of just, like, I'll use Teledon, and then I'll use, you know, my big nuke buttons, you know, Unga Bunga, I will do big number, but, like, it gives you a reason to stick around at high charge, or it helps you, like, feel less bricked when you only get, like, bad skills, right? Because, like, again, it's not just about enabling the nuke button, it also makes the other skills a little bit more viable if you happen to not see the skill 3 in a while, right? So it's a little bit of both, and it's just appreciated. But yeah, this is, like, the most textbook skill one you could possibly have, so nothing much to say there. On use, gain charge count, or at charge count, gain coin power. Again, same thing. 2 coin skill 2. Usually W Corp is blessed with 3 coin skill 2s, and usually they're 4 plus 4 by 3, so they go up to 16, which is a really good number. I feel like they probably have learned, after releasing so many of them, that maybe that's really, really good, so we'll bump it down to 2. I hope that he has, like, still around, like, a 16 coin power base, and then it can go up to, like, 18 maybe, is, like, +1 coin power, or, like, maybe 14 to 18 or something, coin power +2 maybe, like, I don't know, but either way, this is clearly not going to do as much damage, but, you know, on hit, inflict bind next turn. That's very appealing. Bind is very, very useful. I do enjoy myself some bind. On hit, inflict rupture. At X charge, inflict rupture and rupture count. So it's like so he's like a utility hybrid instead of like a DPS. It looks like. I mean, it seems okay. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be pointing to his Dimension Shredder. I can pull it up real quick, like, just so we could cross-reference it. Just so we can cross-reference it together, of course. Here we go. He does fuel it, by the way. I said his sin spread was bad, but he does fuel it. The thing about the sin spread, I'm still gonna stand by that it's not the greatest, because no other, like, egos really consume either of these. So in, like, a team setting, you're going to have plenty of these anyway, even if he didn't generate them. So it's like, he does contribute to it, but it's not really, like, super pressing. You don't need either of these desperately. And I can't imagine you're going to be using this super often that you're going to be running out. So, but it is nice that he does fuel it. And also, again, the Sloth skill 1 is appealing. So, I'll give you that. But, yeah, looks like he's obviously meant to synergize with the, Dimension Shredder. This has been anticipated for a very long time. Ever since the end of Season 1, when they added this ego into the game, people are like, yeah, we're gonna get Warp Honglu and Warpy Song. We did end up getting Warp Honglu pretty early into Season 2. Like in the middle, like early to middle of Season 2, we ended up getting him, so that's pretty neat. And now we have this guy too. And then we have skill 3, Dimensional Rift. On use at X minus charge count, consume charge count and gain coin power. Really? On use, consume charge count and gain coin power. Okay. That's really strange. So, it gains plus Z coin power. So, they gain 2 different coin power values if you have charge or not. And then before attack, if X charge count has been consumed, to inflict rupture count. Dude, that's so weird. It's so weird. What the hell is that? I mean, you're probably not going to use this below, like, okay, your skill 3, you're almost always going to save until you have high charge anyway, because you're going to save it for, like, a really big setup, right? So, you're always pretty much going to save it, no matter what. So, it's not like I don't think this will come up very often at all, to be honest, but it's just, I want to see how it plays out. Like, I want to see how it plays out, because this is so strange to see. Obviously, unprecedented in the game as of now. But, yeah, I don't really know if it's going to actually make that much of a difference. But, unless it's, like, something super backwards, like, it gains more coin power if you have no charge. But that would be just, like, completely stupid. I don't know why they would ever do that. It makes no sense from a game design perspective, because then it's, like, you can't use any of your other skills, which would benefit off of it. It's just like, what the hell? Like, why would you ever do that? But, you know, it's technically possible that they do. Whatever. And then, of course, inflict rupture. Inflict X rupture for every Y charge count consumed by the skill. Okay. If the skill consumed X charge count upon use, inflict dimensional rift. So yeah, you obviously want to consume the charge, if possible. And then on kill, gain charge barrier. Again, on kill is just, like, pretty much completely useless. Just too inconsistent. I mean, dude, I feel like people say this every single time. They're, like, coping on kill effects. They're like, I'll show you. It's his skill 3. You can kill with it pretty easily. But it's just like, I don't really care. Like, on kill, usually, there's only one boss in a stage anyway, so on kill doesn't really matter. Unless the payoff is, like, bonus ego resource. That would be spicy. If you get on kill and you get bonus ego resource, that would be spicy. But, like, on kill charge barrier, the only times that this would matter in Railway, of course, is, like, against the stupid, like, there's very few bosses where it would matter. It's like Sun Shower, like the Drifting Fox, where you would last hit an umbrella with skill 3, which is just such an L. You would last hit an umbrella with skill 3, which is bad. There's the T-Corp guys, which is, like, I guess probably one of the better use cases. And then there's, what, Fairy Duo? I guess it could come up, but it's, like, very unfortunately, like, again, you wouldn't want to last hit the wine bottle or the vine stalk, the beanstalk with it, so it's like, I don't know. And then same thing with the Wayward Passenger. It's like, you know, I guess the dimensional rifts that he opens, you could last hit for charge barrier, but it's just like, dude, I don't know. On kill is just it's too inconsistent to try and set up, and the payoff is never good enough. So, whatever. But I'm mainly focused on these because this inflicts a lot of, I'm going to say quote-unquote, a lot of rupture, because they could cripple his numbers. But it does inflict quote-unquote a lot of rupture. And it inflicts even more if you consume charge. So it's like, I think maybe they might make it so that, like, there's a possibility that they make it so that this coin power, the Z, is higher than the Y. So it's, like, kind of a give and take, where it's like, okay, if you want more rupture, you can consume charge. But if you want more damage, you cannot consume charge. I don't think it would make sense from a game design perspective why they would do that, but it's possible they could. Like, I could see it happen, but I don't want it to happen. I don't know. And then we have his evade. His evade actually has text on it, so we have to read it. Base power plus X per Y charge count, sure. On evade, X potency when applying rupture for the first time with a skill effect next turn. Okay. I mean, this could reset, so you can gain, like, 2 or 3 potency extra. If you clash it with, like, a 2 or 3 coin skill, you can gain, like, X, like, plus 3 potency or something. I mean, that's kind of neat. I don't know if that's, like, Rupture really is not struggling with potency. I don't even, does Dim Shredder even apply Rupture Potency? It doesn't, right? Yeah, it just applies Dimensional Rift. No, I guess it applies some on the Overclock, but... I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's there. It's there. Emptied Thought is the passive. At turn end, gain haste per Y charge count. That is extremely good. Just absolutely fantastic. I love having haste. I'll tell you why in a second after I read the second half. But if this unit's skill consume charge, apply charge barrier to one ally with lowest HP percentage. That's also pretty good, because this presumably happens, like, every turn. But, like, okay, this passive is, like, really, really, really good. But, like, it's so good that I don't think that it would be on Owned. I think it would probably be on Resonance. There's, like, I doubt that this is, this passive is on Owned, because it's just so good. Like, haste every single turn is, like, ridiculously strong, because just in the context of the game, obviously, you know haste is good, because outspeeding the enemies gives you more control in the fight. Because you'll outspeed everything, you'll be able to redirect clashes where you want, of course. So more haste is obviously good in the grand scheme of things. But in the context of a Rupture team, it's also really good, because you can ensure that Dimension Shredder can go before all of your other units, so that the other units don't consume the Rupture, which would obviously be boosting your Dimension Shredder damage. So you don't want your other units to be consuming the Rupture stack before Honglu can move, or not Honglu, Isong can move, right? So he wants to move first so that he can ensure that he consumes the Rupture stack first before anyone else. So for that purpose, haste is also very solid. Very appealing, but again, it's just so good that I don't think it would be on Owned. There's no way it's on Owned. If it's on Owned, like, oh my god, that's kind of crazy. Haste every single turn. Every single turn in quotes, technically you need charge, and it could be like 10 charge. So it might be difficult to get there without, you know, ego usage or anything. But, you know, I'm just gonna assume it's gonna be, like, kind of reasonable. Like, maybe 8 charge, like 6 to 8 charge on Owned. Or if it's on Resonance, it might be, like, 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't think it's on Owned, but, you know, it's a possibility. And then Emptied Thought, the second half also is pretty decent. Because charge barrier is not a bad mechanic. Don't get me wrong, it's just the problem with charge barrier is that all of the units that use charge barrier either are inconsistent with applying it, like, for example, on kill, right? Like, on kill, that's just so inconsistent, it hardly ever happens. So, you know, and then, or the units are just subpar. It's like Honglu, right? Like, W Honglu is not, like, where you want to be. He's not a bad unit, obviously. I'm not saying he's a bad unit. But, like, he's just not really good either. So, you know, Charge Barrier is just kind of lackluster by the virtue of not being on any good units. But if you're applying it every single turn, for free, I say every single turn, again, in quotes, because, again, I don't think it's on Owned. And also, consuming charge count. The only skills that consume charge is his skill 3, and then his Dimension Shredder Ego. So, it's not like you're going to be getting this every turn, but Charge Barrier, if it's easy to activate like this, it's easy to activate and it's consistent, because you can always see who it's going on. So, you know, this is actually useful. Because lowest HP percentage is probably going to be W Ryoshu, if anything, because her skill 3 consumes her own health. So she's consistently, I mean, for me anyway, she's consistently, like, middle HP to, like, low-ish HP, by the time I'm, like, in the latter half of Railway. Because Gloom resource is very valuable, so I'm not really using Fluid Sac unless I have to for Sanity. So, W Ryoshu getting Charge Barrier over and over again is very solid, because, again, Charge Barrier is shield next turn, And then at the end of the next turn, the charge barrier will expire and turn the remaining leftover stacks into charge. So it's basically charge next turn is how it is kind of how it works. So, you know, and charge next turn is very valuable to have, especially if your charge unit is W Ryoshu, because again, the coin power that you can get off of having a lot of charge is highly appreciated. So for that purpose, you know, this is actually very solid, I think. And then Cleanup Demonstration is the support passive. Ally with the highest charge count deals more damage against Rupture based on Rupture. I don't think it's going to be that useful because, you know, it's based on the Rupture on the target, and Honglu, or not Honglu, again, sorry, Isong is probably going to be one of the main players in the Rupture team, besides like Talisman Claire, like, you know, the staples of the Rupture team, right? But he's obviously looking to be one of the staples of the team, and, you know, he's also the only Rupture ID that has charge interactions with it. So I think probably if you were running a Rupture team, you'd probably want to run him because his payoff on his ego is so substantial to the strategy that I think you'd probably just want to run him. So, you know, I don't think the support passive is that good, gonna be honest, but it could be interesting. I just don't think it'll be that, like, it could be interesting to play with, but I don't think it'll be that mind-blowing. So, overall, again, if you're new here, I'll go over the methodology for the ratings again. Here we have 2 number ratings out of 10. The first one is the general rating. The general rating is what the ID is in a vacuum. I'm not comparing him to anything else, but I am taking into account synergies with other IDs and egos, but I'm not comparing him to any other, like, IDs or anything directly. It's just like, well, he can synergize with this, you know, whatever. So for example, right, the fact that he synergizes with Dimension Shredder Ego is going to boost the general rating, right? But the fact that he doesn't synergize with things will not take down his general rating, if that makes sense. That's what the second rating is for. It's the meta rating, again, out of 10. The meta rating is where we compare his relevancy to everything else in the game that I can think of. Again, all these videos are unscripted and shit, so sorry if you like edited content, my apologies. But yeah, the meta rating is where we take into account everything in the game that I can think of off the top of my head, and how he synergizes with some things, or the opportunity cost of using him versus other options. And, you know, the things that he synergizes are the things he synergizes with, you know, meta relevant also, because that could take his ranking down, obviously. So I think that generally, in a vacuum, he's probably going to be pretty solid. He is Rupture, but he has promising Rupture. He's a W Corp ID, and historically W Corp IDs have been useful one way or another. I'd probably, but like, again, he's just Rupture, and we don't know a lot. Like, the thing is, we don't know a lot about his kit, right? We don't know if this is on owned or not, which is big. We don't know the coin powers on his skill 3, which is the main payoff, obviously. And then Rupture for every charge count, inflict whatever. You know, the on kill, again, I'm not holding this against him because it's just like a useless line of text, but I'm not holding it against him because it's not useful. If anything, it's just a nice bonus, but I'm not gonna be like, you know, on kill, this shit is useless, I'm knocking him down. Like, that doesn't make sense to do. But I mean, historically, again, Rupture has not been the most relevant strategy because sinking is just so much easier to use. But again, I'm not holding that against him in the general rating. So general rating, I'll say probably, like, dude, I feel like I give a 7 to every ID. Am I crazy? But like, he seems pretty solid, like an 8. I'll give him like an 8. He actually seems solid. If not for the Rupture count, then for the charge synergy. Because if you run him in a charge team, with, you know, W Don, W Ryoshu, right? just like the charge trifecta, he will do very solidly. And then you can run him with Rhino, Mersault, or W Corp Mersault, and then Reindeer, Ishmael. Like, just fill out the roster however you wish. He does fit in there really, really nicely. So I think that alone will probably help his usage greatly, because he actually has synergy there. And he also has synergy with Rupture Comp, obviously. The Rupture Comp synergy is definitely present. He is probably going to be a big staple in that team comp if I had to guess. He might have trouble fueling his own charge. Hopefully it's not like a W Mersault situation where like he really struggles to charge himself, so you'd need to bring Teledon with you in order to get the most out of him. It's not the end of the world, but you know, that would kind of be a limiting factor, maybe. But overall, I think he's probably generally going to be an 8. I feel like he's probably going to be very effective. Probably a staple in Charge Team and Rupture Team. You know, if you're not playing for, like, meta, right? If you're just playing to have a good team comp and whatever, he's probably going to be a very solid choice. And then the meta rating, I'm not convinced on the meta rating for a couple reasons. One, obviously, Rupture requires a lot of synergy in order to make work. The first thing is you're going to need Talisman Sinclair, like, 9 times out of 10 in order to really get a big Rupture stack going. And to do that, you're giving up N-Corp Sinclair, and obviously that's a big no-no if you're trying to do big damage numbers. So that's obviously a huge hit to his usage in the Rupture strategy. The second hit to the Rupture strategy is the fact that Dimension Shredder competes with one of the best egos in the game at the moment, which is Sunshower. Sunshower is just an absolutely broken-ass ego. Because it helps refund its own sanity. It hits 7... Excuse me. It's early in the morning, so my voice has not quite come in yet, sorry. But, yeah, it hits 7 targets. He refunds his own sanity, gives your entire team damage up, and power up. Obviously, it's only Sloth, so there's not really that many huge things that it can hit. The relevant things that I can think of are obviously the skill 3 on Molar Otis and the skill 3 on Dietchi, right? Those are like the two big players in the Sloth game right now. You know, this is just like waiting to be as more IDs get released with Sloth skills, this is just waiting to be more and more broken as time goes on, right? So, you know, there's that. 3 Prot is actually really solid. People sleep on this all the time, but it makes your entire team deceptively tanky. 30% less damage, of course, on your entire team for this turn and the next turn, which is just ludicrously good. And it also rolls well, does great damage, and is pretty cheap. For what it does, it's exceptionally cheap, because the resources that it uses are not very relevant, besides Gloom, and it's pretty light on Gloom. So giving this up is really tough in order to use Dim Shredder instead, which would require you to also run, again, Talisman Claire and perhaps other Rupture synergy like what is it, Zwei Faust? You know, so you're taking a lot of opportunity cost just there, and then the ID itself competes with Spicebush, Honglu, of course, who is the premier Isong ID in the meta right now. And, you know, Spicebush is a huge staple in the meta for two glaring reasons. It does not take a genius to understand that Sinking Deluge is really, really powerful. It is extremely potent as a strategy, just as a mini engine. If you just bring, like, the meta charge team into a stage, but you bring Isong and Roja in, you have a 2-man sinking engine that can deal hundreds of damage for free almost, right? So this is one of the main reasons you would bring him. And the second reason is because of his passive. I feel like people do not understand that his passive, Full Bloom, is ridiculously powerful, again, with his Sunshower ego. So these two, the ID and the ego synergize with each other so well and both of them are absolute staples. I could not really see you replacing them. It would be a really tall order to replace them, but I wouldn't say it's completely impossible, but it's really tough. So meta rating is going to be pretty low. I'm going to say like a 3. And again, 3 is like a 30% chance that he will be meta relevant in some capacity, right? Like he'll see experiment. I'll say like 3 is like he might see experimentation, but I don't expect him to stick around in the meta. Is my guess. So general rating, he's gonna be like an 8. Meta rating, I'll say like a 3. I don't think he's gonna be that good. Like good enough to be worth running over Spice Bush or using Dim Shredder over Sunshower, because there's just way too much you need to bring besides just him in order to make him really work. Because on its own, Rupture is not really good enough compared to Sinking. And Sinking is just too easy to... Sinking is too easy to use, and it's too effective for how easy it is to use, right? Compared to Rupture. You need to bring like 3 or 4 IDs in a Rupture team, have like 2... like, you know, 1 or 2 specific egos, and you have to give up, like, meta IDs in order to bring Rupture IDs to make the stack really big. So it's just, like, a little too much compared to big number go boom, right? So that's my opinion. I don't know. But moving on, we have Season 3 Battle Pass changes. We'll go over here. The Battle Pass will be released on the 16th. Again, set your calendars. The max reward level adjusted. Battle Pass reward will be adjusted from 60 to 120. However, the Battle Pass price, the value or number of resources obtainable remains the same, save for a few specific rewards. It remains unchanged at 300 paid lunacy, of course. So they're making it slower to get boxes, is what I'm reading. The value, a number of resources you get is the same. It's just spread out over twice as long. So basically all of the resources per level is halved, and the amount of XP you need to max it out is doubled. So you're not going to be able to get boxes as early into the season, I guess, is the main expectation. I don't really have a problem with this, to be honest, because the amount of boxes we get is kind of game breaking. So I don't really have an issue with it. We already get enough boxes. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a Mirror Dungeon grinder, and I'm sitting on over 1,000 boxes or something. Like, it's ridiculous. And I just do my Mirror Dungeon once a week. So, you know, it's... honestly, I'm completely okay with this. It makes 100%, it makes sense. The intent Battle Pass max levels being adjusted in order to change the rate. Yep. Currently, the pass XP to be required, such as Mirror Dungeon, was calculated with the time required to dispense IDs from the dispenser, of course. This direction was decided in the middle of Season 2, which meant that the rate which a player was able to reach max level was much faster than we intended. Yes, okay. So, what they're saying is they balanced the 60 level Battle Pass around Season 1 Mirror Dungeon, where it was very hard to level up because you did not have, like, hard Mirror Dungeon giving you dead-ass, like, over 10 levels per completion with the bonus. So you would get, like, a ludicrous amount of boxes that they were not accounting for when it was in Season 1, right? So when you take that into account with the extra, you know, bonuses for clearing the new content now, the old system is kind of broken. So yeah, again, it makes sense that they would change it. I'm 100% down for this. In order to bridge the gap between initial intent and current reward acquisition speed, intend to expand the Battle Pass level, of course. Expand the amount of time required to acquire all pass rewards, of course. To alleviate the concern, we'd like to inform you that the perceived amount of Eco Shards that can be received will remain unchanged. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It'll just take you twice as long to max out, is the idea. Now Max Pass will be included in the pass as part of the normal rewards. Really? Therefore, Free Pass users would receive additional 60 nominables and Limbus pass users will receive 180 nominables. Wait, really? So you can't over level the pass anymore? Is that what that means? The max pass level EX rewards will be included in the pass as part of the pass level rewards. So they're changing the. You're no longer allowed to grind boxes, is what I'm reading. Yeah, you're no longer allowed to grind boxes because now they are putting extra boxes in the battle pass, and now over leveling the pass does not give you boxes. Okay, that's controversial. I don't know. I mean, looks like they're trying to make it into more of a gacha game, which I'm used to, but we've been pampered for so long that I forgot it was a gacha game. Okay, I mean, that's gonna be, dude, there's gonna be backlash for this, I'm sure. I'm not gonna be the one to start any backlash, because personally, I think it's a reasonable change, because, again, the amount of boxes we get is just broken as hell, but I don't think I think I'm in the minority on this opinion. I don't think that people are going to be agreeing with me on this. Changes to the level EX rewards. With Season 3, even if the players purchase the Limbus Pass, after progressing, they can retroactively receive accumulated Limbus Pass in addition to free rewards. Okay, so your overstacked rewards will be good, I guess. Like if you pay for the pass after your overstacking levels, you'll get retroactively all of the rewards you would have gotten. Makes sense. Again, makes sense. All that makes sense. And then Limbus Pass package added. Purchased from the Battle Pass menu with 2700, you'll obtain 10 pass levels and a special banner. Please note before purchase that the Limbus Pass package does not contain the Limbus Pass Season 3. Wait, what? Oh, wait. It just has a banner and pass levels. It doesn't actually have the premium pass in it. That's fucking stupid, bro. Who the hell is buying that? Who you goofing with that? And then, yeah, the 3 parts. So, are you allowed to overstack it or not? Now the pass level EX rewards of pass level... Max pass level EX rewards of pass level 60 and 100 will be included in the pass as part of the normal pass rewards. Wait, no, you still are... I think you are allowed to overstack the pass. Right? Now... Max pass level EX rewards of pass level... I'm so confused, bro. You guys in the comments can sort this out. I think I'm gonna walk it back. I think you are allowed to grind boxes. I think it's just super weird, bro. I don't know how to describe it. I think the way that the max pass level EX rewards of level 60 to 120 will be in the pass as part of the normal pass. I think it's like... I think what they mean is past like level 60, past 60 onwards, instead of like, you know, 60 and before, right? You would have like like let's say you have like thread. Oh my god, bro, I'm an artist or what? Let's say you had like thread and it would be like 10 thread. It's obviously not 10 thread, right? But for the sake of the argument. And then you have like down here at the EX pass, you would have another like 10 thread, right? I think what they mean is past level 60, there's going to be no more rewards on the premium pass, and it'll be like, you know, they'll be stacked on the free pass, so you can have like, you know, 20 thread up here instead of 10 and 10, and then again, like over here, you'd have like 20 thread. I mean, that's what I think it means, but like, again, I mean, reading comprehension, bro, like, I don't know. It's Project Moon, like, who the hell knows what they're talking about? You guys can sort it out in the comments, okay? My job is just to read the news, alright? Hey, what can I say? Alright, let's move on to the update notice. You know, of course, for me, it's Wednesday. New extraction, the end of Walpurgis Knot, so, of course, if you're looking to, spend money, now's your time. It's going to end in a few days. Added a confirmation window before exchanging e-song. They did note this in a previous patch notes. They were changing this, so that's fine. Fixed incorrect passive text for an enemy from Station 6. Which one is that? That's Centipede, right? 1 is Totem Pole, 2 is Steam Engine, 3 is Fox, 4 is T-Corp, 5 is Fey Lantern, so it is 6. Yeah, okay, Centipede is 6. Apply Refracted Sinking. When gaining Sinking, this unit gains additional. Refracted Bleed and... Are you for real? What the fuck? Why? This text does not affect the function of the passive in the game. With such a short time left before the Line 2 banners are no longer available, we do not want to make further changes to gameplay. Understandable. But, like, bro, how is this... How do you even fuck it up this bad, man? It's 2 completely different effects. How do you even mess this up? How do you mess it up so bad? Oh my god, bro, what? Okay, I mean, like, whatever. Maybe other people noticed, but I did not pay attention to that. That's just fucking stupid, bro. Are you kidding me? That's just so egregious. I mean, I'm glad it's fixed, but, like, how does it take so damn long, bro? What? Oh my god. No way. Okay, fix an issue where selected IDs up tile illustration were not reflected in Mirror Dungeon loadout menu. Okay. Fix an issue where if 2 or more manager levels were obtained via skip battle, a relevant... 2 or more at the same time? Oh my god, bro. Who is... You guys are crazy. Fix an issue where certain sound effects did not play upon acquiring an ID. Sure. Ego Gift. Fix an issue where second effect of Artistic Sense did not activate properly. Don't know which one that is. There's like over 100. Fix an issue where an MD deployed ID thread spinning tiers displayed ID uptie tiers instead of thread spinning tiers. Okay. Fix an issue where certain conditions clashes did not connect and instead referred it to This bug is so annoying, bro. I'm so glad that this is fixed. This has been in the game for like since launch, I think. This has happened to me like a handful of times, maybe like once every other week I remember it happening to me, but oh my god, thank god this is fixed. Like, sometimes clashes just turning into unopposed attacks for no reasons. Like, I don't know what the reason is. It says under certain conditions, so I don't know what the reason is, but I remember it happening. This shit is so annoying, so I'm so glad it's fixed. Oh my god. Fix an issue where upon hovering over Sinner's combat sprite, the enemy arrow targeting that unit did not display. I did notice that. I guess that's a nice visual bug fix. Fix an issue where the options in settings graphics texture quality did not sync between combat scenes and non-combat scenes. Okay, sure. Oh my god, we have so many. Inventory. Fix an issue where numbers displayed in incorrect color. Okay. Fix an issue where Mirror Dungeon rest stops provided 2 or more rests. I did not notice. JP only. Fix it a font size. Okay. JP players. Sure. Font size. Fix an issue where text did not display properly. Alright. JP text changes. Sure. EN only. Adjusted 7 association. E-song. Skill 3 Molinet description to be more clear. Before on hit 1 to the count versus 1 to the value of effect. What? They're referring to the fragility? I am imagining they're referring to the fragility. Yeah, 1 to the count of the effect applied by the last coin. Versus what? The value of the effect. But it says take more damage from pure skills based on the effect's count. So is it that ambiguous? I mean, whatever, bro. I did not have a single issue with this. I don't understand what. Okay, whatever. Fix an issue where upon killing an Abno, the trigger for activating on-kill effects was activated as many times as the number of parts. That's funny. I actually did notice that this happened, like, once to me, but it's not really relevant. Again, I guess we're just, like... I mean, technically it's a nerf to on-kill effects, which are already not great, so whatever. Relevant. Okay. Fix an issue where in focused encounters, Ego Gift Ram, welcome. Gave an abnormally high amount of resources upon enemy kill. True! Dude, for some reason, like, that ego gift is supposed to give you a lot of pride, but, like, I would notice at the end of my runs, I would have almost, like, 150 pride. And there's no way in hell that that's correct. So, Yeah. There's gotta be something fishy going on, bro. There's gotta be something fishy going on. So, yeah, I guess that is actually, a good bug fix. Uh, I can't help but notice they added an extra parenthesis, a single apostrophe at the beginning of this. That's just an L. Like, whatever. Uh, Added, and then known issues. Fixed an issue where, or looking at an issue where ego gift char distant does not activate in focused encounters. Okay. This issue occurred in the process of fixing an issue. Oh, so this bug was a result of fixing the on-kill bug. Sure, whatever. And then you're comped. So, just a lot of bug fixes. Nothing really huge in the gameplay department, it looks like. So, you know, we're basically bracing ourselves for season, what's it called? Season 3, which is happening next week, which is, like, way too soon, bro. Time flies. Holy shit, time flies. I'm hella excited. Let me know what you think about, let me know what you think about Nui Song. Obviously, that's the main draw of this patch. But also, let me know what you think about the Battle Pass changes. Because I feel like that's kind of controversial, and also I don't really understand what's going on with the leveling. But, yeah. Until next time, I think we're done here. So, yeah. Until next time, peace out. I'm gonna be streaming. I haven't streamed in a while, I apologize. But, we're gonna obviously be streaming on launch day for season 3. Like, come on. Like, come on. Of course we have to. So, that's what we're gonna be doing. At the very least. I might stream this weekend, we'll see. I've been busy, okay? But, yeah. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Hey, peace.